Hi guys, in this video I want to go over what do you do to measure motion. So how do you actually measure motion? And there's a couple ways to do this. And today we're going to talk about speed. So how fast do you go when you are walking, when you are hungry and you smell something good in the kitchen, versus how fast do you move when you have a difficult chore to do? Sometimes you move quickly and other times you might move more slowly. So we're talking about speed or motion, we're talking about change over time. And one way you could describe how fast you move is by determining your speed. So what is speed? Speed is the measure of the distance an object travels per unit of time. Speed is a measurement of your distance divided by the amount of time it takes to get you there. So that word per tells you to kind of divide those two things. So this is something you guys see all the time when you're in the car with your parents and they're driving. You would see something like this on the dash saying the speed of the car is 65 miles per hour. And what that really means is 65 miles are driven every hour. Every hour. So for every 1 hour, you are driving 65 miles. That is what that says, and that is your speed. So these units, miles per hour, this could be any sort of distance and time units. We can have kilometers per hour. We could do instead kilometers per minute. If you were running a very short race, you would want to know that distance instead of this one, the speed. It's less helpful in a short race. So on your rulers, you might use centimeters per second. You might use centimeters per millisecond if you were working with really small distances of time. So I want us to know that there is all sorts of possible units here, but it's still speed. You're still measuring distance divided by time. So let's look at this example from the book about changing versus constant speed. So speed can be one of two things. Either your speed is constant, meaning it is not changing, or it is changing. So there's two ways speed could work. Either you have changing your speed or you have constant speed. So if you look at this picture right here, you can see the girl has walked for 7 seconds. For 7 seconds. And in the first 4 seconds of her walk, you can see that the distance that she travels, every step is the same. She is stepping with the same speed for the first 4 seconds of her walk. Her speed right here is constant. However, at the 5-second mark, you can see she is moving her feet more. She's taking bigger steps. She's moving more distance. And because she's moving more distance, she is speeding up. Her speed is changing. So I would ask you, do you notice, is her speed constant or is her speed changing? And you have to look at the distance that is being passed over time. Right here again, this distance is the same with every step. Every step here, between the first 4 seconds, all the same distances. But in the last 3 seconds, you can see she really is speeding up because she's taking bigger steps and she's traveling more distance per unit of time. So the last part of this video, I just want to go over how you would calculate speed. How do you figure out your average speed or what you're going? So when I said 65 miles per hour, how do we calculate that? How do we do the math? So suppose you want to know how fast you traveled from the park to the library. So suppose there is a park with some trees, and you want to travel from there to the library. And all you know is that the distance between those, the distance between them is 1 kilometer away. 1 kilometer away. So in order to figure out how fast your speed was from this park over here to the library, you need to know the time it takes to travel there. That's all you need to know. So let's assume it took you 15 minutes to travel to the library from the park. So let's assume it took 15 minutes to travel 1 kilometer. Well, you can do 1 kilometer. You could do 1 kilometer divided by 15 minutes, and you would get 1 over 15 kilometers per minute. That is your speed per minute. Every minute you're going 1/15 of a kilometer. Or you know that 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. It is 0.25 or a quarter of an hour. And you could do the same math. You could do 1 kilometer divided by 0.25 hours. And that's a simple fraction there. And you put in a calculator, or you know that you're going to flip this over and know that 1 times 4 would give me 4 kilometers per hour. So both of those are the same number. That is actually the same speed there. It just has different units involved.